When it comes to being vocal about something and having a passion that I can even see for yourself, that it's way more than just trying to put yourself out there. It's more about the purpose, right? The impact.
That will to go beyond, like the beyond will of what
Yeah.
you think to overcome certain things and reach, those goals that you want to get to.
Every day that we learn something, we grow as an individual, especially as a man.
Making an impact, leaving a message. I came too far to just stop what I'm doing. Like
Yeah.
it's not gonna make sense.
Welcome everybody to the Rally Cry podcast. I am your host, Angel Rios, and I am so glad that you are here with your time, with your energy, whatever it is that you're doing. If you're cleaning, if you're cooking, if you're driving, I'm just so glad that you trust me with your time. And one of the goals that we want every time when we listen to an episode is to learn something, to take something so that we can apply it to our daily lives so that we can be a better person than we were yesterday. And today I'm so excited because it's the first time that we have a musical artist, someone that is really making impact with his voice in Springfield, Massachusetts, someone that is a native to Springfield, Massachusetts. So I just want to introduce him to you guys. Fabeyon. How you doing, man? Welcome to the show.
Hey, I feel amazing, brother.
Yeah,
Appreciate you having me.
Absolutely. I'm so glad that we're here, right? We're going to talk a little bit about you, about your music, about the culture, right? The music industry, but also the things that we overcome, right? As you being an artist. I think that's the biggest thing. So I want to start with, first, before we get into the questions, if we can break the ice, right?
No doubt.
We got the Enough Said card game, right? It's a good way to start meaningful conversations, break the ice. If you guys haven't done so, make sure you go at therallycry.com and you could get your own and, break the ice with your friends, families, significant others, whatever it may be.
Dope.
So I got these cards right here. I'm going to shuffle them in my hand and you're going to pick one and let's break the ice.
All right, bet. All right. If you could master any instrument, which one would it be and why?
Talking about music, right?
Man. So the keys for sure.
The pianos?
Yeah, I definitely want to master the piano.
Do you know how to play a little bit?
Like, I'm gonna say least and bare minimum.
Yeah.
A lot of people know in my right hand man Shamrock. He plays in the band. He plays the piano. So, here and there I'll ask kind of like how to do a couple things, but I'm definitely trying to learn.
Yeah, I would say it's funny when I was in high school I used to do trumpet. So I know how to play trumpet, but it's been a while.
Yeah.
But it was because in SciTech, they have like a band there. So that's where I learned the most. But what I also love that you said about piano is that I hear in most of your music, you have a couple, organic piano. You have a little bit of like, not jazz feel, but like you have some instruments. You can naturally tell because you can tell the difference from like, beats, synthetic beats, and then the organic ones. So I love that. Yeah.
Yeah, I would say the keys or the guitar. Sure.
Oh, it's got guitar right there, That's just for looks, though, by the way.
Well, I was gonna ask if you know how to play too.
I'll be trying. I be seeing a lot of I feel like in my culture, a lot of Hispanics, Puerto Ricans, and people are always doing the guitar, and it's always dope.
Right.
But that's like a whole thing, bro.
I know, bro. It's beautiful though.
It really is. Yeah, it definitely adds a lot of craft to what you do, right? And it's just like expression, right? Talking about expression. And honestly, that's enough said, right?
That was dope.
Yeah.
That was dope.
And so I definitely want to go all the way back where it started with your debut album. Right? We have the album. It's called Beyond Will. If you guys don't know about it, go check it out.
Yes, sir.
One thing that I noticed when I was listening to it, it talks a lot about personal growth, overcoming challenges. And I wanted to ask, what was your mindset when you was creating this album? I feel like a lot of people are coming out of something, coming into something. What was that like for you?
Yeah. So during the process of creating that one, it's like when you find yourself in a certain environment, a certain situation, different circumstances, and you have a vision, you have dreams, you have goals, you have to find it in you, like that passion in you, that will to go beyond, like the beyond will of what you think to overcome certain things and reach those goals that you want to get to. So that was really the purpose, the reason for that title. And I actually, to this day, I kind of kept that phrase with me throughout my career. So a lot of you still hear me saying Beyond Will to this day on joints or freestyle, whatever interviews, because that's just like something that I day to day I just keep with me. You know what I mean? And I say to myself, and I try to like spread that. You know what I'm saying? That message to people. Like that's what you gotta take it to where you to get to where you see yourself at.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I know what you mean. I feel like, just before we got on camera, it was just a moment even in my life. Like I never thought I would make a podcast. And many times as my listeners hear that I say that, I think is really just to express that, when it comes to being vocal about something and having a passion that I can even see for yourself, that it's way more than just trying to put yourself out there. It's more about the purpose, right? The impact and being creative and how you do that, right? You do it with music, and it's something that you consistently do. And
Right.
it's hard, right? Life is not easy. And I want to ask, when with that mindset and being said, what was something that you went beyond your will being or in order to do that? Because I think there's so many things that happen to us that kind of is like, what is it called? Like there's a quote that says death by 1,000 cuts, right? It could be the most littlest things. But what happens is that with those little things, when they go unnoticed, it's almost like you bleed out,
Oh wow.
right? So
Right.
what is something you went over and beyond in order to...
Um. I would just say there was times where there were certain moments where even like in the middle of making that album, certain situations I got into that kind of just um pushed me back a little bit of being inspired to create in those circumstances. You know what I'm saying? And just you got to dig deep and remind yourself why, your why.
Right.
And you like how you came from where you came from. You came too far to like fall back and, like I said, just remind yourself your purpose. And I think in that situation, that's what happened. Like I was like, I'm in this position. What am I gonna do to persevere and keep continue on my path?
Right.
So I think it was just that like a moment where I just had to remind myself my why.
Yeah.
And you take that leap.
Right.
I mean, and then you just gotta like really push yourself. And it sounds cliche, but that's what I had to do.
Yeah, no, I feel like I can relate because like just yesterday, right, I had a moment where I was feeling overwhelmed, right? And it's where like I have to come back to myself and evaluate like, oh, what is my why? And I also have heard things where like when you ask yourself what is your why, you ask like who hurt you, right? Like you put in that abbreviation, and it's really just to give more perspective, right? It doesn't necessarily mean like someone hurt you, but there was something inside that was hurting you in some degree that made you like, oh, that's it, no more, right? I'm not gonna let this define me. I'm gonna define it. And I think when you're able to really put that in a creative standpoint, right? Like I do some writing myself. Like one of the things that I really love doing is poetry. And I think no matter what, I think people would get a misconception about when it comes to really being better of yourself, you always have to ask yourself again and again and again, right? So that sounds like that's something that you're saying. Like regardless, I'm always thinking about what is my why, so that it can keep driving me and doing the thing that I like doing, right?
Exactly. Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. And I think, there's moments like even for how I felt yesterday, like there's where you want to almost feel like you want to give up. But I think with the music that you do and how long you've been doing it, has there been moments where you feel like giving up? And even when you felt that feeling, what keeps you going?
Nah, I never felt like giving up, bro. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Yeah.
Even like like I said, in the situation in particular, I knew I had to take a break, but I never
Yeah.
it came to my mind about giving up. And that's just me knowing what I always want to do, always what I love to do, knowing how much further I know I need to get to. And I just always I keep that in mind, like no matter, I just can't give. I can't stop. Like I
Right.
said, I came too far to just stop what I'm doing. Like
Yeah.
it's not gonna make sense.
Yeah, no, I love that you say that because I think sometimes when people take a break, they think that's giving up. Like I've had moments where I'd be like, damn, I feel like I'm giving up. But of course, internally, I'm like, I know I'm not giving up. I just need a break. And
Right,
sometimes,
right.
like, I know we were mentioning, like, we can be very productive. We feel like there's a lot going on. But telling yourself that, oh, I'm going to make sure that before I go do this, I'm going to take a nap, right?
Yeah,
You
yeah,
had to
yeah.
rest to give your best,
No
right?
doubt. Yeah,
Yeah. So no, I love that you say that
yeah.
because I think the people that are listening can have the sense of feeling like they're giving up, and when they take a break, it's like, oh damn, I'm failing. Oh, I need to keep up, or other people are doing these things. Um, is there someone that you look to in the music industry, or even people that are close to you, even if it's family, that you really go to when you have a moment where you just want some inspiration or motivation?
Mm. Um. Yeah. I mean, there's a couple people. I'd say one person that comes to mind is definitely my uncle. Um.
Shout out to the uncles.
Yeah, my uncle Jamal. He's always been like a big, like he's always inspired me a lot of what he does in his career, and I just like I look at that and I like kind of apply it to mine,
Hmm.
and certain sacrifices he made that I know he's made to get where he's at. So like yeah, certain moments where I feel like I need to say something or like ask for a piece of advice. That's definitely somebody that I go to.
Yeah.
I look forward to like taking something from him, like a jewel. You know what I'm saying? So,
Yeah. Yo, I don't know what it is, but when it comes to the uncles, they be there for
oh, no
us.
doubt.
Yeah, like I
Yeah.
don't know my dad personally. Like I've never
Mm.
met him, and I was just having a conversation with my uncle. I was like, I'm glad that you're in my life because although I didn't know my dad,
Yeah.
you was definitely that figure. You know what I mean? That
Word.
helped me figure things out. And he made me more tough. And even to this day, I still be learning things from him, like what it is to kind of be a man. Because we kind of need some form of reference to understand what that manhood is like. And I also wanted to go even deeper with one of your songs, "Shoes to Fill." And that song particularly, I loved it because it's kind of tying in what we're already talking about like reassurance. And in that moment, you was reassuring to your younger self about how to persevere, how to be strong, and be willing to be that person that you want to be. What is something that your younger self would be surprised of you today?
Ooh, something that he would be surprised of me today.
Yeah.
Um, I think he'll be surprised of I think a important one is places I never been to, like physically.
Yeah.
That my music and my words reached out to and touched. You know what I'm saying? Like I think my younger self would be like, "What? That's probably bugged out." Like you
Right.
know what I
Right.
mean? To know that different corners of the earth that people hear my music, like that's a beautiful thing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
man.
I think he'll be surprised at that.
Yeah, I also saw that you've had some people that co-wrote with you or like co-signed you. Like one of them was Fabulous, and the other one was it
Nicky
Nikki
Jam.
Nikki Jam,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
What was that experience like?
Those were um shoot, man. This when growing up and people that you listen into their music, um it's definitely a dope feeling and knowing that they acknowledge you somehow.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
right.
So that's just
That's so lit, right?
yeah. I was fortunate enough to have just even the shout out, the look of somebody in that established that way in their career to know to acknowledge what you're doing and it's like damn what I'm doing is not going unnoticed.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
that's dope.
I think reassurance is, and I love that we're kind of like tying in reassurance, right,
Yeah.
of what we do because I be having moments like when I have these podcast episodes, I'm hoping that at least one person is grabbing something from it that can leave with confidence, that can leave with, you know, the determination to be better of themselves. And to be able to have someone that is in that stature, that's been in the game for so long, it's almost like, you know, like you mentioned, it's like not feeling unnoticed, but also knowing that you have something to prove on what you do, right? Like the thing
Right.
about being better as an artist and what you do there, right? So I think
Right. Right.
that's a beautiful thing, and I think it humbles you. You know what I mean? I've had
Yeah.
moments that I was like, damn, you know, you kind of sit back and process of what that's like.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I can
Right.
only imagine. Would you say that, you know, these moments and milestones you have humbled you more?
Absolutely. 100%.
Yeah,
100%.
right, right.
Definitely humbling. You know.
I think too when it comes to certain experiences and as you know you go up in the game, right, in this industry, um, a lot of times we have a lot of artists like Big Sean. That's one of my favorite artists. We got Nipsey Hussle. We got Kendrick Lamar that really rep their city. I
Hmm.
want to ask, do you think it's responsible for an artist to rep their city?
I would say yes. I would say so. You
Mm-hmm.
know, especially like if you know in that city that you grew up in,
Mm-hmm.
they embracing what you're doing and
Yeah.
the support that they showing. I think it's yes, it's definitely your responsibility to you
Mm-hmm.
know to show that love back and represent well.
Right.
I mean, definitely.
Yeah, I've seen that you've had a couple shows like in Tower Square, but just like in the local area
Yup,
with
yup.
you know, repping your city, right?
Yeah, yeah,
And
right.
I would say that's probably one way that you do that. Is there anything else that you do that you feel that you do to really represent for your city?
I mean, you know, when I go out of town and I'm on these different platforms and different stages,
Mm.
I just, you know, I try to just mention Springfield, Mass as much as I can. You know what I'm saying? Like I know how some artists can, you know, if they're not from a certain like lit area,
Mm.
they kind of like, you
Bog it
know,
down.
yeah, like they don't, you know, I don't have, you know, I want to just mention where I'm from the most in the best way and let people know where we from.
Yeah,
I mean, there's talent out here. It's a, you know,
right.
it's dope.
Do
They
you
got.
ever have moments where you do rep your city and like someone or maybe the whole entire crowd goes like, yeah?
I mean, I mean, shoot.
And even if they don't, what is that feeling that you get when that happens? Because I feel like being on stage can be intimidating, whatever you're trying to portray. So what is that like for you?
I honestly, I just tell them, yo, or ask them if you proud of where you from, like
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. Just that's kind of how I connect with the crowd in
yeah,
that way. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Just
Being authentic.
yeah, just be proud of where you from, man.
Yeah, and so for listeners that may not know, you are natively from Springfield. Like you was born and raised
Born
here,
and
right?
raised,
Right.
yeah. So
Nice.
you know, just feel like as an artist, man, it is my responsibility to show that love and
Mm.
like some way or form give back to the community that I grew up in. You know
Mm.
what I'm saying, and I just want to make an impact somehow
Mm.
of of where I was from.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No, I hear that, bro.
or
I think, you know, when it comes to really trying to make impact, I think it really touches back down to how you feel, right? The emotional clarity, the emotional intelligence that you have for yourself so that you're able to be creative with your words. And I believe when it comes to the music industry, I think it is always about you know, the grit, right? You know, it's always talking about violence. It's always talking about these things and these endeavors and challenges, which is always cool.
mm-hmm,
But I see in your music, you don't really talk about that. You really talk about you as a person, resiliency, challenges, how you overcome those challenges, and sometimes even reassurance, right? Um,
right.
how do you protect your mental health when it comes to being not emotional towards your music, but more towards like where you are expressing yourself? Because the industry probably not are always encouraging that. How do you protect your mental health in making music?
Mm, um, shoot, man, I just try to put things into perspective the best way possible.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and kind of like going back to what we touched on earlier of like just knowing your why and just telling my truth. You know what I'm saying? I think that kind of keeps me like level headed and knowing where I need to be at mentally.
Right.
To to keep creating and to keep me, you know what I'm saying, where I need to be.
Yeah. You have those moments when you're kind of figuring out more of your why, re-identifying your why, because sometimes, we refine it every day that we learn something, we grow as an individual, especially as a man. Do you write these things down? Where do you
Okay,
collect
yeah.
your thoughts,
Right. Yeah, definitely. I definitely write a lot down. Aside from music, like just to look at, throughout the course of my day and just remind myself, like,
Right.
these are certain things, that I need to, embrace. A lot of times, like, I exercise. You know what I'm saying? And it could be a random moment during my exercise, and I just like kind of just stop and I give myself like 4 or 5 words that just come to mind first of like words of affirmation type of thing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And like what I feel like today I want to execute on. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like I tell myself, I close my eyes and like, engagement, being grateful for the little things, just working hard, health,
Right.
wealth, like, you know what I mean? Like certain words, keywords that I know I want to keep elevating on to reach that next level. Those are certain things that I kind of tell myself, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I was gonna just about to ask, like, what is some things you do to get out of the moment of feeling stuck, right? I think writer's block might be something that you go through. Like, I've had moments where, like, maybe there's a topic or something to talk about and we could feel stuck, but it sounds like that might be that thing that you do. Right?
Yes. So just like I said, like, it's funny that, I just said it, like,
Yeah.
sometimes I hear different artists sometimes that say, when they stuck, they just kind of like take a little break and just kind of go live and not think about what's in front of them to work on so much. And that's worked for me before, but a lot of times, like I said, the engagement, like if I feel stuck, I try to grab certain things, like, and just draw inspiration from anything around me.
Yeah.
And kind of like doing the opposite of putting it down. I like dig deeper in, and it kind of like just stimulates even more. And then I get different ideas, and then now I'm sitting on just so many different thoughts that I could hold on to.
Yeah, yeah.
Saying, so if people that's going through that, I know everybody does sometimes. That could be a trick too. You know what I'm saying? So, but again, like, I'm not mad at the idea of just kind of like, doing something different other than creating, like cleaning up and having a conversation with somebody, or like I said, being active some type of different way. That's always helpful too. So
yeah,
so many different ways, man. You just gotta like be open minded to everything and just be receptive. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Nah, I totally resonate with that, man. Like, I was as one of his name is Oh My God Adrian, but he's really dope with storytelling, and he's someone that I look for inspiration when it comes to like making content or just sometimes like just getting an idea out of something. And one thing that he said is that sometimes when it's about creating something, because we're not entrepreneurs, right? We're creators. It's like what I like to define.
Yeah.
You kind of have to live your life. You know what I mean? You got to just do your regular thing. And sometimes doing that regular thing, if that is cleaning, if that is going and exercising, or even if it is talking to someone, or sometimes it's really needed. And I encourage anybody that is listening that if you just need to talk to someone, find that person that you can really trust. But it's really just being, right? To be, you have to let things be. You know what I mean? So
That's true. That's true.
that is very true. And
Yes.
I love that, someone that is close to home. I've been here for about pretty much my whole life. I came here when I was 11, coming from New York, because that's where I'm originally from.
Okay, I see the Bronx right there.
Yeah, see, you get it. Yeah, I had to, that's the Twin Towers before they came down.
Yep.
You guys don't know, I got a couple pictures and stuff like that represent, where I'm from. But I think, not to go too much on a tangent, but coming from, New York and Bronx in that area, I was raised and I grew up there with my mom. I think it's just trying to always stay connected with where I'm coming from, but also like the journey from where I'm going, where I've gone to. But with that being said, I think it's dope to have someone like you that is in the Springfield area that is really being an advocate for, being resilient, being able to persevere, but not only, being an example of that, you're showcasing that through your music. And I mean, I don't know, guys, but if you have not heard Fabeyon's music yet, you could go on Apple, right? I'm pretty sure you're on every platform, right? You're on Apple,
much, yeah.
Spotify, right?
Yeah.
I'm an Apple person, so that's where I looked on. But he has a lot of dope music. You should definitely give it a try. What would you say your genre is really in? I think sometimes most artists can, dibble and dabble. If you were to say your primary genre, and if you have a second one, what is that?
Hip hop to the core, man. You know what I'm saying, just pure hip hop. That's what saved my life. You know what I'm saying, that's what raised me.
Yeah.
So
You say saved your life. Was there a music or a song or an artist that you heard and it really changed your perspective to make you who you are today?
It cats like Nas, Jada. There's a couple off the top of my head.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure there's many others.
Yeah, it's so many.
Yeah.
Just growing up, being inspired by cats, but yeah, those two definitely.
Yeah. What age were you around that time?
Oh man, it's like probably like 4 or 5.
Wow, that's young.
Nas, I was listening to that was Nas, definitely young. Jada, a little when I became just a little older. Yeah.
Yeah,
man.
I feel like I asked because I would never forget when I was in New York. I was just over there for the summer, just hanging out with my mom and my brothers, and I ran across Big Sean. Like, I always say it all the time, but Big Sean is just one of my favorites, as there is many others. And I was just scrolling looking for new music, and the first song that I came across was Guap, Big Sean, and that song was like so confident and whatnot, and I was like, yo, this is lit. But yeah, I think those are very pivotal moments that define more of who you are becoming. You know what I mean? Like, you make music now, you continually do that. You got a new single now, and it's really a good one, right? If you guys haven't heard it, it came out, like last week? Like about last week. It's called Drive Slow. If you guys haven't heard that one's a really dope one. And I recommend, if you want the whole experience, just watch it on YouTube. Like, watch the whole experience, because I truly believe, and I'm sure everybody that are music listeners can relate, is that when you listen to music, it's always good to see the reference and the video format of it, because it says more about the story. And just before we came on air, I was saying that it gave me the vibe like when you're just trying to clear your mind on a night drive.
Right.
Bro, it's fire. I love it.
Yo, appreciate you, bro.
Yeah. And then you have someone next side of you, which really resembles like the companionship, right, of doing that. Yeah. So that is even another thing.
Shout out my brother Shamal, man.
Shout out to me in that. Let's go. I love it. I do want to go into our segment. It's called Rally Rapids. And I have 5 questions. Not 5 questions. They're 5 words. And with these 5 words, I want you to tell me the first thing that comes to your mind with a word minimum and to a sentence maximum.
Let's do it.
All right. So the first word I got for you is legacy.
Whoo. Legacy. What I leave behind for people to remember me as, yeah.
Enough said. Go. Nah, for real, man. I love that. That's so true. I can definitely, agree with that one. Second one is resistance.
Resistance. Damn.
Mm-hmm.
Discipline.
I like that. They go hand in hand.
Right.
I like that. I like that. Third one is voice. I try to make it tricky.
Impact. Just leaving, making an impact. Leaving a message. Yeah, using my voice.
There you go. You're really good at this, by the way.
Hey, I'm trying, man. I'm trying.
Fourth one is healing.
Music.
Hey, I like that. I was hoping you said that. Yes.
Yeah.
All right, and last one is, I think this is, by the way, all these words are really something that I feel like represent you, but the last one is perseverance.
Beyond will.
Hey, give me that for that. Give me that
No
for
doubt.
that.
No doubt. Exactly
That
what
was
it
dope.
means, too.
I like that. I like that. Well, hey guys, I really hope that you guys really got something from this. And honestly, like what I love is that, having not only the first, we had Aaron that came on as well, and he gave his spiel. He does poetry. He's a musical artist, I would say, as well. But to really have someone that is really focused and having his career being based on music, he said hip hop, that's something that is going to continue to grow, right? And I'll affirm it here, right? The fact that, the consistency, the way that you take your time to do music, right? When you had the single that came out for Drive Slow, right? I think you really took your time with that. And I think that's what people can appreciate. I think many artists can sometimes feel like they need to put out, but you're like, nah, it's not really about that. It's about quality. So,
absolutely.
By the way, if you guys don't know, I'm just foreshadowing. It's quality. Just saying. But before we go, I want to give you a present.
Wow.
So we got a present for you. All right.
What's up, man?
You guys ready for this? All right. So I will give you some options. All right. So let's start for size first. Small, medium, large, extra large. All right. Large.
Large.
Colors: blue, white, or black.
Damn. Let's do black.
All right, so black large. I'll be back.
Let's do it.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
This is the first
We got
one.
the gift. That's what's up.
Here you go. We got
Yo.
a gift for you. Here you go, my friend. Open.
Yo, appreciate that, man.
Yeah, man.
Okay, keep moving.
Yes, sir. Perseverance, right?
Exactly. Beyond will.
Yes, sir.
That's what's up, man.
Yeah,
Positive
man.
state of mind.
Yes, sir. It's a license plate too. That's why I love the pun about it.
Yo. Fire.
Fuego.
Make sure the camera got that.
Yes, sir. And then there's
Yo.
a logo in the back, a little detail. But then there's like a QR code in the back that has like one of the episodes talking about moving forward positivity.
Yo.
Yeah,
this
bro.
is dope.
Yeah, man. That's all you.
Thank you, brother.
Yeah. Happy birthday, even though,
Yo. I appreciate that.
Yeah, man. Well, I appreciate you for coming. I'm glad that we were able to talk a lot about what you got going on, giving a perspective.
Yes, sir.
And I just want to make sure that, I give you the floor before we go. Is there anything that you want to tell the audience, if it's something you got coming up, something you want to leave with them? But, yeah, where they can follow you, stuff like that.
Yo, y'all can follow me all across the board. Fabeyon. Tap in. Look out for my next album, Fruition. It's coming very soon. I'm very excited about it. And yeah, let's go, man. Beyond will.
Yes, sir. Let's do it. I'm so glad. Hey guys.
Yo, thank you for having me, bro. It's a dope episode.
Yeah, man.
I'm saying, I'm looking forward to, looking at more of the material you dropping. So thank you, brother.
I appreciate you, man. It's all love. I think is really about showcasing the people that matter the most, as making what matters. And I'm just so glad you were able to come. So
these conversations, like, it's dope to have. It's needed. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man.
Just creators, like you said, and it's helpful for real.
Yeah, man.
Appreciate you.
See, even if you're not making music, the words you just had right here inspired me.
Thanks. See?
Yeah, man. It feels good to know that like bringing people like like-minded individuals is like to empower each other, and that's really what this is about, man. So again, I appreciate you for coming. And
Likewise,
I can't wait for that to come, and just for more things to come your way.
Sir.
And let's just keep on growing together.
Sir, hey, yo, keep moving, you heard?
Yes, sir. All right, guys. I appreciate you guys. Make sure you leave a comment down below if you have anything that you want to mention. Make sure you follow us on your favorite podcast platform. And you can also follow us at The Rally Cries with an S at the end on Instagram. So until next time, you guys be easy. Peace.